everyone. We are back on Real Talk with Distinctive Delphine. And today we have a very special guest who's going to highlight a great nonprofit in town that I love to support, Penelope Powell with Valley Food Partnership. Hi, Penelope. How are you?
Hi, Delphine. I'm doing well. It was so fun to see that slideshow in the beginning. It's just a real, all those organizations, and yeah, that was nice. Thanks
And
for
it's
having
really
me.
it's something so close to my heart. And something that I love about these calls and these talk is that it really helps everyone understand how amazing the nonprofits are in town. Because before I started donating so much, I really didn't know what most of you do. I had heard of you, or know that you were involved in the market, but
Sure.
really didn't know much about what you were doing until you and I met. So why don't you share with everyone, what is it that you do, specifically what Valley Food Partnership does? What are your goals and how can we help? I know that's
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, Delphine, again for having me. So, Valley Food Partnership is a nonprofit serving the Western Slope, and our mission is to strengthen the regional food system and community well-being. And in a in a nutshell, what that means is we want food to continue to be grown and raised in Western Colorado, and we want to ensure that that food is available to the people of Western Colorado. Some of the ways that we do that is by supporting producers with education through events like the Western Colorado Food and Farm Forum, which we just hosted in collaboration with CSU Extension and Rocky Mountain Farmers Union and other entities, which we just had last weekend, our 10th annual. It's hard to believe it's been going on for 10 years. And we also do that through offering a beginning farmer rancher development program. So, what that program is to help ensure that our aging farmers and ranchers, who, by the way, the average age of farmers and ranchers is 65. So that's the average age. So that is a
wow.
sunsetting career, and we want to ensure that there's the next generation of farmers and ranchers that have
Mhm.
access to education and land and mentorship. And we also want to do that to safeguard the future of our farms and ranchers. At this rate, we're projected to lose 60% of agricultural land in the next 10 years. And food's a cornerstone of the human experience, right? Like even that statement feels like an understatement. Like we need
Oh,
food.
for sure. And I think that's why it's so fascinating to see what you do and how you do it. What I really love
Yeah.
is how you're supporting, but you're not, you and I were talking about this, you're not directing and telling them what to do or limiting them. It's more
Yeah.
bringing them together and putting it on a platform where things are easier for them to get the education needed. So tell me, talking about education, what was the Food and Farm Forum about? How did it go? And what's the next event?
Oh, good question. So this year's theme, every year there's a theme. This year's theme is going to sound a little familiar, but it was farming and ranching in the new normal. And so it really was just bringing in a lot of different speakers and experts. I mean, I was just so inspired and amazed at the just the experience that was in the room. Talking about dealing with drought, talking about dealing with the aging farmer rancher population, talking about just various climate changes that are occurring and how much farming and ranching are having to adapt to that. And so that was this year's theme. It really, you know, despite some of the bumps that happened along the way with COVID, we were
Mhm.
excited to offer an in-person event, and we were pleased with the turnout. And it's also a time for an often isolated group of people to come together and network. And that's another huge part of it. Education's big, but the networking and the connections is really that is an intangible benefit as well.
Well,
So,
that
and
is
we haven't yet met to discuss next year. I think we're all still like in the like, whew, we made it.
I know we had Katie Alexander from CSU
Katie's
Extension a couple of
amazing.
weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we were talking about it and really just seeing. I feel CSU is really kind of stepping out and stepping up in the valley and really starting to offer more education and some great things coming up in the Valley. So I'm personally very excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, in CSU, we are so appreciative of their presence and support that they do. We partner with them on in multiple areas, and it's just um, they're a valuable asset for sure in this community. Delphine, maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit about the other side of what we do as well, which is so I talked about education for farmers and ranchers, but then we also want to work to support consumers and
Mm.
ensure that they know where, how, and the importance of accessing local food and that they even know what to do with that. So often, maybe you go to the farmer's market and you see a vegetable that you've never heard of and don't know how to cook it. So we do offer some support around that. And as you mentioned, we host the Montrose Farmers Market, and at the farmers market, we facilitate at least 5 food access programs for families experiencing food insecurity. So, and that helps these families obtain fresh, nutritious, local fruits and vegetables. And so we really want to work at both ends of that food supply chain.
Which I think is amazing. And I know that I actually became aware of your organization when we started the community needs calls when it
Oh, yes.
hit
Yep.
nearly 2 years ago.
Yep.
And you guys were really present to really provide food for the locals who could not, who were not working all of a sudden overnight and could not afford any food.
Yep.
Um, it was a big help. I remember how much it affected our community.
That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. And, it's interesting some of the uh, trickle down effects that occurred from that because of those calls and participation in that and trying to show up in the community. This past year, we had a number of other organizations reach out to us and say, hey, we heard more about what you're doing and we got a grant to help feed our community and we don't want to just give them city market gift cards. We'd like to do that with the farmers market. So it's neat how
It comes full circle.
yeah, well said. Well said.
Yeah.
It comes full
Yeah.
circle. So
I would agree. I would agree. And as you grow and increase those partnerships, what are your goals this year? What are you looking to do? But specifically, as we, talk about these things, how can anyone who's listening help?
Sure. So that's a great question in the sense of what are our goals this year. That beginning farmer rancher program I was just telling you about is kicking off this year. So that's a big thing for us. It's just getting it up and going. It's amazing. In 3 months, we 24 participants. We met our goal, and so that showed that there was folks waiting and ready for that. So that's really one of our big goals. We also have a really exciting opportunity. We received a USDA grant to infuse some additional resources into our farmers market, and we're really wanting to. We're taking a 3-pronged approach that won't well. I don't need to get into all that, but this year, what our goal is to survey the community and find out like what do you love about the market and why do you come, or if you don't come, what's that about? Tell us why you don't come, and then we want to just look at really trying to engage a diverse group of audience and increase customers at the farmers market, and so that's a little bit of what we're some of our big goals for this year.
And talking about the farmers market, can you tell me more about the schedule? And I believe it's
Sure.
still on for the winter, and I'd love to spread that message too.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for asking. I didn't even think of talking about that. So, we are actually the only year-round farmers market on the Western Slope. And so we operate, yeah, it is. I'm personally excited by it because then it means I get local food all year.
Year round.
So January through April, it's every other weekend. And so our next market is January 22nd. It is 10 to 1 o'clock. It's still at Centennial Plaza. We do have a nice big old tent up for some folks, vendors to be under and heat lamps so people can warm up if needed. And that'll be every other week, like I said, through April and then May through About December. Of course, we take Thanksgiving and Christmas off. It's every week, 9 to 1. So same
Awesome.
place.
Perfect. Well, I really think it's great that it's year round. I think that makes it very special.
I do too. Yeah.
And I can't wait to learn more and really I am a big believer to know where your food comes from,
Mm.
and really supporting local growers is really and farmers is really important to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many like benefits from that. Like
Mhm.
even what you just said about knowing your local farmer, like that creates a sense of place, right? And that sense of place and purpose and community, and that's this intangible benefit that I feel like so much of our culture is missing.
Mhm.
And then also when you spend your money locally, it has this multiplier effect. It keeps those dollars within the community and keeps getting circulated to the families on the Western Slope.
Well, and I was shocked on how easy it was to donate. I mean, I went online, I clicked donate, and that was it. Like it was so easy. So why don't you share with everyone how to donate, how to contact you, what's the best way to reach you?
Sure, yeah, and that was such a generous donation. Like I said, it's been inspiring to learn about what you do. I think there's so much power when a business adds a social component to it and has that kind of drive to better their community. So thanks for being a leader
Thank
in our
you.
community in that way. So it is easy to donate. You can go to www.valleyfoodpartnership.org. There is a button there on the home page, and it will take you to a secure link that keeps all your information private. Um, and you can donate that way, or you can mail us a check. Our address is on our website as well. People are always more than welcome to reach out directly to me, Penelope, spelled on the screen there, at valleyfoodpartnership.org. And, or we just welcome you to call and chat and hear more about what we're doing and ways to get involved. Also, always looking for volunteers, looking to support the farmers market or teach cooking and nutrition classes. So we definitely welcome. Oh, look at
I know.
that.
That's
Love
why
it. Yep.
your information is on there and you can donate and you can really find out all the information you need to know on the website, which I really love. It's well done.
Good. Thank
So
you. Thank you. So,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, well, there anything else that you would like the community to know?
Wow, what a good question. I think it's worth celebrating that last year we distributed over $8,000 in local food vouchers to families. And like I said, that money went right back into the pockets of your local farmers and ranchers, and those families also got to have a choice in what they purchased and got to have those same benefits that you and I feel when we go to the market. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
$8,000 in a year. That's great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
And thanks again for
awesome.
having me.
Yes, of course. Well, you have a fantastic weekend.
Yep.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, Delphine.
Bye. Have a good one.
You too.